All right, so let's talk about the bench press. So I am going to be using the PVC, really heavy, no. All right, so for your bench, I want you to set up, depending on your height, let's talk about your feet first. Depending on your height, you might want to have your feet elevated on like 45-pound plates or something like that, so that you're able to use your feet and really drive your heels into the ground. Obviously, if you're shorter, the ground might be a little bit too far away from you, so I would say just elevate your heels up slightly. From there, I really want you to drive those heels into the ground so that your quads are active, calves are active, and that your glutes are active too. So there's an active, constant driving force pressing down into the ground and away. From there, you're gonna pick up your bars. So I would say for your width, for your grip, about like a little bit slightly wider than shoulder distance, not too wide. From there, round your wrists over slightly so that your wrists aren't in this super like overextended position. Your wrists aren't gonna be completely neutral with your bench, but I still want them actively pressing like down towards your feet. All right, so from there, deep breath in. All right, I'm gonna press that bar up. I'm gonna begin right about like where your nipple line is. I don't wanna be too far up. I don't wanna be too far down. I want your fists to be directly above your elbows so that you can get a strong upward driving motion. So from here, when you're at the top of that bench, something that I didn't mention at the beginning, you wanna maintain tension in that bar. A way that I like to do that is by like actively pulling like your hands apart from each other. Obviously they're not gonna move, but that action, that force of like almost like splitting the bar in half is gonna help you to keep your shoulders packed during your press. When you are actually pressing, think about doing a pulling and pushing motion. So as you're pulling, as that bar comes down, you're actively inhaling and pulling that bar down, exhaling, pushing that bar away. So as I do this, I'm pressing the back of my shoulders into the ground. Glutes are squeezed, quads are squeezed, everything is tight. After that last press, just release, drop that bar back into the J hooks, and that's your bench press. So a couple of mistakes that I commonly see with the bench press. I'm just gonna turn my body so that you can see a little bit better. First thing is gonna be the path of that bar. Make sure that you're maintaining a straight path. Sometimes I'll see folks, as you're pressing, you start to kind of like bring the bar up towards your head and then press up that way, or same thing like pushing down. That's gonna screw up your force. It's gonna mess up. It's gonna mess up your reps. So just make sure that you're keeping a nice straight pressing motion. Something that my coach actually told me that really helped me was, as you're pressing that weight, almost like think about like pushing the weight down towards your feet. What that's gonna do, it's gonna help you with that shoulder drive, with keeping them nice and strong. Let me think, anything else that I wanna mention for that? That about does it for your bench press. And yeah.